Hello and welcome back to my channel. Apple is testing an in-screen fingerprint scanner for its next generation iPhone 13 and prototyping the foldable screens for the future iPhones. Apple is said to have discussed multiple sizes for a foldable display, which includes the one that unfolds to 6.7 inches. The screen currently being tested have a mainly hidden hinge with electronics behind the display. It is unknown whether Apple will release a foldable device next year or else it will be in future years. The next iPhone 13 models will come with no charging port and alternatively to use MagSafe for wireless charging. Besides that, the iPhone 13 will incorporate with in-screen fingerprint scanner known as Touch ID, which is useful when you're unable to lock the iPhone when you are wearing a mask. The next topic will be Apple is planning to have major redesign of the iMac since 2012 in conjunction on the shift from Intel processor to its own proprietary Apple silicon, such as the current M1 processor, which is available for MacBook Air, MacBook Pro and Mac Mini. This will be a major iMac update on its form factor, as the new models will slim down the thick black borders around the screen and do away with the sizable metal chinch area in favor of a design similar to Apple's Pro Display XDR monitor. These iMacs will have a flat back which eliminates the curved rear of the current iMac. Apple is planning to release two versions, namely codenamed J456 and J457, to replace the existing 21.5-inch and 27-inch model later this year. Apple is also working on the two new Mac Pro desktop computers, in which the first model will be a slight update on the current Mac Pro, which is still using the Intel processor. Meanwhile, the second model will be a smaller version, which is half the size and will use Apple Silicon. Sources say the model will be in aluminum exterior. Besides that, Apple is also working on a cheaper monitor that will be geared more towards to end consumers. On the next topic, Apple has disabled the ability of allowing the users to install iOS-based application on their devices that powered by M1 Apple Silicon chip. It was initially that some reviewers tried to install the mobile app with the .ipa extension files via iTunes or using a third-party software known as iMazing to test run the mobile app into M1 devices. Well-known apps such as Netflix and Spotify are not yet available on macOS, which can be side-loaded the iOS versions onto M1 devices instead. While the system is capable of running the mobile versions of the aforementioned app, Apple considers these actions are unauthorized. At this time, any attempts of installing iOS apps onto macOS will result in an error message stating the installation has failed. The error message will appear as the application cannot be installed because the developer did not intend for it to run on this platform. Surprisingly, the iOS apps that are already installed before this are still accessible without any problems. However, seeing that Apple is already cracking down on the side-loaded application on macOS, it may not be long until it will disable the ability to gather. On the next topic, Apple is extending the 13-inch MacBook Pro display backlight service program to another 5 years. In May 2019, the company launched a service program to address Flexgate display issues. The program applies to devices sold between October 2016 and February 2018 that experience the following issues. Display backlight continuously or intermittently shows vertical bright areas along the entire bottom of the screen, and display backlight stops working completely. To identify your computer's model and to see if it's eligible for this program, choose Apple menu, About this Mac. Eligible models are listed below. MacBook Pro 13-inch 2016, 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports, and MacBook Pro 13-inch 2016, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. The initial program covered eligible MacBook Pro models for 4 years after the first retail sale of the unit. The program has now been expanded to cover eligible MacBook Pro models for 5 years after the first retail sale of the unit or 3 years from the start date of this program, whichever is longer. On the final topic of the day, an iPhone 12 Pro prototype has just surfaced and it gives an interesting look at the latest build of Apple's non-UI version of iOS 14 called Switchboard. along with an early version of what's become the very popular Pacific Blue color. Giulio Sombetti shared 2 images of the iPhone 12 prototype. On Twitter, the first image gives a look at the latest version of Switchboard, a non-UI version of iOS 14. It is used as an internal tool that features a variety of utilities. Apple uses Switchboard to test a variety of features with the new iPhones. Utilities were seen in the previous versions of Switchboard are present here, like a console, USB host, QR code, reliability, as well as some newer ones like Nest and Astro. It's hard to tell what it looks like dim lighting in the second image, but it's possible the Pacific Blue could be slightly darker or different on this iPhone 12 Pro prototype than what Apple settled on with the final version. That's all for now, and thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and turn on the notification for latest videos, and see you next time. Peace.